Jack Catterall has beaten Regis Prograis via unanimous decision. I think the scorecards were way too wide, but at least we got the right winner. I don't know. I'll get onto the fight in a minute, but the scorecards kind of make me think a judge is just too scared to rob Jack Catterall now or something after what happened with Josh Taylor in the first one. A judge is just too scared to rob Catterall because the scorecards there were shocking. I don't know what Tony Bellew was watching, but he had it ridiculously wide to Catterall. He gave Prograis like 2-3 rounds. I don't know what he was watching. But yeah, anyway, of course, we ended up getting a good fight there, to be fair, with Catterall and Prograis. It looked to start off with, the styles weren't gelling well at all. It looked to start off with, but it's like once Prograis put Catterall down in the fifth, we actually had a good fight on our hands. We actually had a good fight on our hands once Prograis dropped Catterall. Yeah, it was interesting because early on there wasn't a load going on. This is how I scored it. So I gave the first round 10-9 to Catterall. First round 10-9 to Prograis, sorry. Second round 10-9 Catterall. Third round 10-9 Prograis. Fourth round 10-9 Catterall. Fifth round 10-8 Prograis, of course, because they're not down. Round 6, 10-9 Prograis. Round 7, 10-9 Prograis. Round 8, 10-9 Catterall. Round 9, 10-9 Catterall. Round 10-10 round 10-9 Catterall. Round 11, 10-9 Catterall. And round 12, 10-9 Catterall. So 114-111, I scored it in the end to Jack Catterall. The knockdown, the 10-7 round 9 for Jack Catterall changed the fight, flipped it on its head completely. It took me from 77-74 from Regis Prograis to 84-84 after that 10-7 round for Jack Catterall. Literally turned the fight on its head. It takes a top fighter to do that. It takes a world-class fighter to fully change a fight round like that. The judges' eyes, it didn't have that. They had Catterall like 4 rounds up from the beginning. But really, from what everyone else saw, Catterall turned it round, and it takes a top fighter to bloody do something like that. It does. Catterall's going to fight Tio next, and I think Catterall's going to be awkward for him, to be fair. I think Catterall's going to be awkward for him. And I think, to be fair, when Prograis dropped Catterall, yes, in the round it looked like Prograis was kind of, busting up Catterall and hurting him a bit, but the knockdown was kind of more balanced from Catterall, if we're being real. It was more his balance, his legs weren't fully underneath him. Speaking of balance as well, after that 10-7 round, from rounds, obviously, 8, 9, 10, from rounds 10, 11, 12, Prograis' legs were not under him. Prograis was slipping all over the place. You could tell he wasn't fully balanced. And, a fighter with, proper one-punch knockout power would have brutally laid out Prograis there. Prograis was getting a bit cocky as well after he dropped Catterall. He was getting pretty cocky after he dropped him. To be fair, it looked like Prograis was taking control, and it looked like Catterall was going to lose that fight. But Catterall ended up properly digging deep. I've seen there's loads of people who are really starting to slag Jack Catterall off, saying, "Oh, this guy could be one of the most boring champions ever." I don't think that's the case. I thought in the end that was an entertaining fight. I thought the knockdowns that Catterall scored, especially the first one on Prograis, was a very heavy one. And it was timed very well. He set that knockdown up very well behind that lead hand. It was very good stuff from Jack Catterall, that first knockdown. Very, very, very good stuff. And it just brutally laid out Prograis. Prograis got up, fair play to him, got dropped again later on in the round. And from there, Catterall just took control. Catterall's lead hand's so difficult to figure out, though. It's so difficult to figure out. People just find it so difficult to find out the riddle of that lead hand of Catterall. And so far, no one's done that, because Catterall should be 30-0. It should 31-0, because he shouldn't have lost to Josh Taylor that first time, as we know. But yeah, honestly, brutal stuff from Catterall in the end. Dug deep. And he just got that win in the end. He easily was able to take those last 4 rounds, especially after the 10-7 and 10 after the 10-7. So yeah, Catterall just dominated behind the lead hand, was good to the body, set up some good shots upstairs afterwards. It was just some good single shots from Catterall that he was setting up, and he was very smart. Prograis was out of range a lot, and it's very difficult to pin Jack Catterall down. That proved today with Prograis. He found it very hard to fully just be able to pin down Jack Catterall. Catterall moves really well. His pivots are really, really good. His Catterall's accuracy, his timing, it's brutal stuff, and that's what hurts you. He's unpredictable with his work. He's got fairly quick hands as well. And I also think the way Catterall was able to get success in the fight, that was good. Catterall's body work was good because then once he got the body work going, he was able to bring Prograis' hands down and get his work going up top. Prograis was just outsmarted in the end by Jack Catterall. And Prograis at times, especially early on in mid rounds, Prograis was slipping shots well. He was slipping shots well. But at the end of the day, he just ended up being wore out. And I feel like Catterall throughout the fight timed himself well. That's what Catterall did well, because obviously I think Catterall's gas tank is questionable, but for this fight, you had to time him. He had to time himself well, and that's exactly what he did. He picked his moments well. He was able to take the odd round off, then come right back into it, and just took over late on. And when you take over late on, the judges bloody like that when you take over late, and that's what happened with Catterall today. He won all those last rounds. That's exactly what he needed to do to win the fight. But I just feel like the scorecards were criminal, though. The scorecards were criminal. With Prograis, I think, Prograis showed at times in the fight, especially early on, some of the mid-rounds as well. Prograis was letting his hands fly quite well, to be fair, and was landing some good shots. But at other times, Prograis was massively over-swinging. He was digging deep. It's a sign, Prograis was really digging deep. But he was over-swinging so much in that fight, Prograis. He was really over-swinging. And it also just seemed like at times he was frustrated. That's the thing. I feel like at times Prograis just massively wasted some of his work. That was the issue with Prograis at times in that fight. And at times when Prograis overswung, he was getting countered by Jack Catterall. So at times in the fight, Prograis just let himself down. There were some things that he just did in the fight that were just uncalled for and unneeded. And Prograis was slipping quite a bit in that fight before he got knocked down as well. He overswung massively, tripped himself up, fell over his feet. And Prograis' balance was an issue at times in that fight before he got dropped as well. Prograis just wasn't very good at managing the range in that fight, and that was throughout. Yes, as I said, he was able at times in the fight, especially after he dropped Catterall, he was able to, let his shots fly well and, get some success. But it was never because he was really able to manage the distance well. Prograis was never really fully able to keep the fight up close, and that is because of what Catterall was doing. His movement was very good. But Prograis just wasted so much chances and was punching air so much of the time. And that's also his own fault. That's also Prograis' own fault. Because at times it looked like he was jabbing air, kind of like he was trying not to land, but then just threw a massive overhand, which just failed massively. And at times was jabbing air, threw a hook, and it failed. It badly failed. So Prograis kind of let himself down, or he was jabbing air, overthrew, got counted, failed again. So in the end, Catterall just showed to be the smarter guy. And I said in my watch along for this fight, you can't go into a fight and try and just outsmart Catterall. You need to make it a fight. And Prograis should have tried to get up close and, try to make it a bit more scrappy, I feel like. And tried to rough Catterall up, but he was unable to do that. But that's also because Catterall's movements world class. That's the thing. And you can't and also the lead hand of Catterall is just so good. He's always got it in your face. It's hard. So, Catterall makes it difficult for his opponents and there are other people who don't give him enough credit. But Prograis is also at fault for some things that he did in that fight. That's what I'm trying to say. Anyway, thanks for watching this video. I'll speak to you on the next one.